When we think of personal injury cases, we often think of big things like car accidents, but you can also be compensated for injuries that happen from smaller accidents like slips and falls. Richard Griffin with the Griffin Law Firm joins us now with that. So what is the basis for premise liability claims?
Well, premise is going to be the property, and so it's a claim where either the owner of the property or if someone is occupying it, like a store is occupying a facility, they may be leasing it. You have a right to be reimbursed if you are injured due to a negligent act by that company or that person that owns the property or is occupying it. So you typically could have a scenario where a lot of times the biggest one that happens most frequently is a slippery spill in a grocery store, or they mop the floor and they don't put signs down or they don't clean it up in time. And if it immediately happens and you fail, then there wouldn't be a claim. But if there's a period of time where they should have cleaned it up or they should have known about it or did know about it and they didn't take care of that, then they're going to have to be responsible in a personal injury for that slip and fall.
Does the injury have to be a certain severity or?
It doesn't. I mean, if you're injured and you require medical treatment, then you can have a personal injury case for a slip and fall. And it can also involve, we say slip and fall, there's also situations where decks may collapse or elevators may be malfunctioning or escalators, dog bites. You could have things where, we've had a case where a ladder, broke, that it was the owner of the ladder was defective, they knew it and they didn't fix it. So there's a lot of different things. If you get hurt, then it's really a good idea to call 877 Pain Law so we can talk about it and we can really sort through and make sure if you have a claim, we get you paid for your medical expenses, your lost wages, and your pain and suffering.
All right, you've got some examples.
I do. I brought a graphic, and it shows that there are premise liability. It can be a slip and fall. This first one was $48,000 for a defective escalator. There was one where there was an uneven pavement. A lot of times we took a picture of it, and there was like a quarter difference as far as the height, maybe an inch or more, caused the person to fall and injure her shoulder. We got her $75,000. There was a slippery floor in a convenience store, and that was a $75,000 recovery. A dog bite case, if a dog's not leashed or if a dog has bitten before, then you can have a personal injury case for that. We got $75,000 for that. Defective fence, this is one where the fence was not maintained well or not built right, and someone leaned against it and they fell about one story down into the backyard, broke both of their ankles, and that was $125,000. And then the refrigerator case, it wasn't installed properly. It tipped over because they didn't use the anti-tilt kit, and that was $1 million recovery. So there's we handle cases all different sizes, but the most important thing is that you hire an attorney that you can trust, that's going to work hard, that's going to keep you updated on your case, and that's going to deliver those results that you really need.
Because we always think of hiring an attorney on the big things.
Right.
We don't think about it so much on the little things like this, a slip or a fall or like a refrigerator falling over. I mean, you just wouldn't think of it.
Right. Well, and a lot of times people think that maybe the injuries aren't that severe, but when they don't get better, they go to the doctor, they do some testing. Sometimes you may think you've sprained your ankle and really it's a fracture. Or sometimes people injure their back or their shoulder. It just doesn't get better. They do an MRI and they find that they have a torn rotator cuff or a herniated disc. So it's important to get the treatment that you need as soon as, if you're injured, you need to get that treatment because a gap in care is going to be something the adjuster is going to use against you. And it's important to call us.
Is there a statute of limitations on something like this?
There are. It's a 2-year statute, so you have 2 years from the date of the accident. But it's absolutely critical that you call long before that because it's sort of like a captain at the helm. If he's driving that ship, he's going to be going the right path. If you don't have a trained attorney on your case, it's going to be getting off track. And the longer you wait, the harder it is. Sometimes a case may have no value when it could have had great value if you'd had an attorney right from the beginning or as soon as you can get them.
Just a phone call.
Right.
We got to tell everybody you've just updated your website and you're very proud of that. So don't forget to get the help you need. Contact the Griffin Law Firm. You can call this number, 877-PAIN-LAW. You can also log on to that new website, 877painlaw.com.